Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl, JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love Season 10, Episode 11. I'm laughing because I had my lapel mic on, but, child, it was getting on my nerves because I was trying to move around the house and record the video, but that wasn't working. I'm going to have to find a new solution so that I can be able to do my videos quickly while still getting stuff done, but we're going to knock this out right now. And yes, I am moving around, so you will hear me in the background. But the reviews are late. Oh, I hope y'all are doing good today. I am doing well. I am so rude. The reviews are late because I went home this weekend. And y'all, when I go home, it is freaking non-stop. As soon as my feet hit the pavement, it gets going. So I didn't have time to really do any videos or really even watch any of the shows. I was exhausted. By the time I would get to the end of the night, I would be tired. Plus, I do believe I actually was a little bit more sick than I realized. I had kind of deduced everything down to like seasonal allergies, but I actually think I was a little under the weather because I would feel really run down at the end of the night. And you can hear it in my voice. I'm actually just now getting my doggone voice back. So if y'all hear my voice go out in the middle, just charge it to the game. All right. I'm going to put this up tonight and then I'll do a post for when the other videos are going to be up. But look, y'all, I'm getting better because I'm at least committing to the review. Late. Lord, my phone is sick of me. Late, but committed. Committed nonetheless. Okay, so let's get into what happened on the show. Lord, let me pour me a glass of wine for this review because I already just... Ladies, what have I always told you over here on this channel? Say it with me. And if you don't know it, learn it today. Play smart. Do not play fair. When it comes to these men, it doesn't do you any justice to play fair. It doesn't. And even a man would tell you that. Men, one thing I'm going to respect about men until my dying day is men going to go for what they want. If they F it up in the process, so be it. So be it. They ain't got nobody to blame but themselves because they went after what they wanted, right? Ladies, what we try to do is we will also try to go after what we want, but then we get to playing fair. I mean, well, such and such deserves this. Such and such deserves that. And in your playing fair, you put yourself last, third, second, and you mad at everybody else who went after what they wanted when you could have done the same thing. Play smart. Do not play fair. This was a lesson in that. This was a lesson. The gentlemen meet up with Uncle Tyler Perry, and it is time for them to meet the ladies, for the ladies to meet their families. All right. So we're reaching those pivotal moments in the show. I'm ready for the show to be over. They've stretched it out way too long. And by a miracle, we haven't all lost interest. But I'm definitely ready for the show to be done. So we're going to get into the meeting of these families. We start this y'all, my voice, I'm sorry. We started out with Kiara meeting Jay's entire family. Like, Jay really brought the whole squad out, right, to meet his woman. I thought it was so funny. But anyway, he brought everybody. He brought his mom. He brought his dad. He brought his aunt. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting distracted. He brought his mom. He brought his dad. He brought his auntie. He brought his aunt. And I think he also brought, did I already say aunt? I think he brought a cousin as well. So all these people came to meet Kiara. And Kiara was here for it. I think Kiara handled herself well. They talked about the subject of his other connection and what he did. The auntie was just like, oh, Lord, he doing the most. The auntie was very vocal. She asked how long they've been together. And she said, not that long. So you don't really know her yet. I love that the auntie was just like, oh, you the only child. Oh, you spoiled. And I love how they pointed out, yeah, he is too. Look, you ain't by yourself with that spoiled thing. They talk about how important communication is because she does admit that she shut down after Jay says, they had their situation and he was trying to talk to her. The mom says that, when your spouse makes you mad, it's very important that you communicate with each other. You can't just shut down. Like, that would be my only concern with you. You have to be able to talk about it. And the daddy was like, I done made you mad. And she was like, you done made me mad. Yes. So they had a good laugh about that. The next thing that's really important for them to do on their agenda is to get the kids together to meet. She has two, he has two. They're around the same age. I really hope Kiara, I ain't in their business like that, but I am, I'm watching the show. But I hope they realize that even though you guys have children and the children are close in age, I hope they don't feel the need to have more. And sometimes I feel like couples, to show that their love is real, they feel like they have to have a child together. They have to create something together. And I'm not saying a relationship doesn't last when you do that, but when y'all already got enough kids, especially if y'all got the sets that you want, you got the boys, you got the girls, sometimes it just puts an added stress on the relationship that it didn't really need, You have your own little blended family. The Brady Bunch did it. The Brady Bunch didn't have no more kids, did they? He got his 3 together. She got her 3 together. I don't recall. Old girl, did she get pregnant again? So to make it 7? I don't believe so. So yeah. And they was just as happy as they could be. I know it's a TV show. But all in all, I think it went well. The family liked Kiara. They did express their one concern was communication, but not so big of a deal where they think, it can't be worked. It can't be worked because she admits where her issue is and that she wants to do better and plans to do better. I would like to know what her plan of action is. You know how people will tell you I'm trying to do better or I plan to do better, but what's your plan? That's what I be wanting to know. Cause sometimes I feel like people just be saying words. Like they tell you what sounds good. I'm working on it. How are you working on it? So I can know. But the meeting went well. Hussein has Rose and Angie. Angie not pictured yet. I'll show her later. Meet up with his brother's brother cousin. I don't know. I think one's an actual brother and I think one's like a cousin who's like a brother. But they're meeting up with Rose and Angie, his 2 connections. And this is where we learn that everybody's seen it by now. When they ask her about her child and does she want more kids, and they move right into does her child, her 17-year-old, have a connection to his father? She says no. They asked, is it all good between them? She was like, no, I haven't talked to him in years. And she says it very quick. And we find out the reason why, and the reason why they haven't talked is because he's been in jail. He is incarcerated. Hussein did not know that. And so he feels caught off guard and blindsided in front of his cousin and cousin brother or whoever. And he didn't appreciate Rose not telling him. He feels like she was withholding information. Now, once Angie comes in, they begin to talk about Angie's family, her family background, her connection. She has a 9-year-old son. She is bartender by night. She's getting a degree in therapy or certification in therapy. She works at a nonprofit. Okay, I didn't know Angie was doing it like that. She doing the most, baby. She got them 3 jobs. She says that she's the youngest of 9. And I wanted to say I misquote another episode. I said she was the oldest. She's the youngest of 9. She loves being a baby because she gets her way. They laughed about it. Rose does say Hussein has been her strongest connection, even though she has another one with, Lord, I forgot the boy's name. Y'all know who. And Angie has that same connection. But her and Hussein really get each other a lot. They really flow together a lot. And the guys were aware of that because Hussein had already told them that Rose is who he has been the most connected to, had the most in common with, flowed well with, right? Angie says that she also likes Hussein. They got together kind of late in the game, so they've really been having to get to know each other, towards the end of the process. What she likes about him is how stable he is, how he's able to calm her down because she's a real spicy girl, can be a real spicy girl. And so she really enjoys that about him. And of course, they end up both leaving so that the guys can discuss. And the guys end up liking Angie more because they feel like Rose got too much going on, and obviously something that you didn't know about, and we didn't appreciate that out of her. You felt surprised by it. We were surprised by it. And I don't know, maybe that's not the right person for you, but they do feel like Angie is like his total opposite in personality. Like she's more fiery, and that may be good for his calm demeanor. So they actually ended up liking Angie more. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to the rest of this. Next, we got Cam meeting with his 5011 connections. Child, the fact that they even letting Cam get away with still having 3 connections on episode 11 is crazy. Anyway, he got the girls meeting with who these girls? They his sisters? At the end, one of them gonna say, thank you for making sure they was all pretty. But girl, shut up. What you would have said about it? Shit. I don't know why that made me irritated. Anyway, this goes well. I noticed Rose didn't bring up, her secret to Cam and the girls. But they do talk about their connections to Cam and what they like about him. It was very reminiscent of like them meeting the friends, very similar. But I'm trying to remember what everybody said. Sahara was her normal self. Sahara's like, I look young, but I'm not that young, and I'm ready for some kids. Oh my gosh, I think she is so doggone funny. Angie brings up when they had a little bit of head button because she made that comment about her busting windows out. And she was like, look, I'm growing, okay? I'm changing. I'm trying. And of course, Rose talks about their connection and how she does admit, does she admit it there or did she admit it during Hussein's? I think she actually admitted it during Hussein's date that she had a stronger connection to him versus Cam and that Cam was aware of it. Bottom line, don't nobody owe Cam no loyalty as to how close they are connected to him because he need to make a decision. The sisters let the girls know that Cam's biggest flaw is that he is stubborn. And so they're going to be on the lookout for that. When they do end up leaving, the girls end up liking Rose in the middle, Angie the best, and Sahara. They believe he should leave Sahara alone because Sahara reminds them of women he's dealt with in the past. I'm clocking that. I can see that. I can see that Cam likes a challenge, right? He likes a challenging woman. And for those I want to lead types, I think that's very interesting that they pick those women out of the lineup because, yeah. Oh, I remember what they were talking about. Him being a firefighter, his job, and how they feel about it because, it's a dangerous job. He may not come home. Everybody gives the right PC answer. I'll just leave it at that because we need to move it along here. But surprisingly, they actually liked wrong. I am wrong, y'all. They actually like Rose the most for him. Look, y'all, I don't know. I'm questioning my things right now, and I'm not going back to watch it. I actually feel like they did like Rose the best. Angie might have been in the middle, but Sahara, we know, was definitely a no. More of the same here. We know these two are locked in no matter what Tay tries to act like. She tries to act like she's still concerned about the stability portion. But I think she's definitely settled in on Cisco for sure. The sister kind of comes from a don't sweat the small stuff perspective. The little stuff in his past is going to be fine. Y'all already know how I feel about the situation. I'm not going to rehash it. But Cisco doesn't like when Tay brings up his stability issue because he doesn't want it to still be a sore spot for her. He also feels like he has to jump into solution mode whenever she brings that up. And that's good. That's actually good that you feel that way because you should jump into solution mode. Then they start speaking Spanish and I was like, baby, I ain't been on Duolingo in years. You better come correct or don't come at all. Okay, this is going to be an English-speaking household around here. Now, when you talk to your family, y'all talk about whatever y'all want. But in front of me, unless I get to learning the language, English, please. Because I don't know if y'all talking about me. I speak a little Spanish. Don't let me hear too many negros up in there. All right? Don't let me hear too many. El stupidos and things of that nature. Because I'm coming in and say, are you talking about me? Huh? Como se dice? What does como se dice mean, y'all? Does that mean what is your name? Oh, Lord. Let's move on. No, como te llamas. Como te llamas. One of those is what is your name. I don't know what como se dice is, actually. I really don't remember what it is. So that's my bad. Anyway, let's talk about Hussein meeting up with Rose later to discuss how he felt about discovering her bombshell secret. Rose, okay. I do believe that Hussein has the right to be upset by it. We have gotten close. We have slept in the bed together. I mean, we have been vulnerable with each other. I feel like this is something you should have told us. He also brings up how, with Kiara's situation, when she revealed her situation, that would have been the perfect time. And Rose cut him off and was like, first of all, I wasn't around when Kiara revealed her situation. Also, I heard through the grapevine about Kiara's situation. So the two can't really be compared. Like what I would do and what she would do, totally different situations. Which I kind of agree with. Like Kiara revealed that to Jay at a different time. And it's not like they were in a group setting revealing what their exes did in the past. But Hussein made a good point, too. When we met the exes, that would have been a good time to bring that up. Well, my ex doesn't know anything. Rose had all the excuses in the world as to why she didn't tell him. If you feel like it wasn't pertinent information because you don't speak to him and y'all will never speak, then say that. But saying all this other stuff, sometimes I forget he's in jail. We don't have a relationship. It's a part of my past that I don't like to think about. Cool. But still, you should have let that be known. Okay? Now, me personally, I don't know if I would feel any type of way if I found out a person's ex was in jail. Are they a violent offender that may come stalk you later? Like, what are they in jail for? But other than that, I actually used to talk to a dude. His baby mama, it sounds like some hood mess, but we weren't dating seriously. It was literally somebody I met and I hung out with. But he had let me know that he had custody of his daughter full time. And he wanted me to know that up front because his child's mother was in jail for writing bad checks and credit card scams. And she was going to do like 4 years or something. So it didn't really bother me that she was in jail. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really think anything of it. But if he would have told me that his child's mother was in jail because she was a violent offender and she stalked him and, they don't get along and she might come around after, like, you know what I'm saying? So perhaps I would like that bug to be put in my ear. But either way, if you all have been having a lot of vulnerable conversations, if you've made it seem like it was your ex, you just didn't. It's one thing to say that you don't speak to your ex, y'all don't have a relationship. It's another thing to say, I don't speak to my ex, we don't have a relationship. My ex is incarcerated and has been so for a very long time. There's an added layer there. What do y'all think? Do y'all think the guys have the right to be upset? I'm torn on this one. Even though I don't care for Rose, I do want to try to be fair in this situation. But I'm leaning towards, I think she should have told them. Just so it couldn't, if for no other reason, so you can't spill my tea on me. If for no other reason. What did Olivia Pope used to say? Put your own scandal out. Okay? Don't let nobody expose you. You put your own stuff out. That way you get to write the narrative. Instead of this, right? And I honestly feel like when she began to cry, Hussein wasn't really able to get into the discussion with her the way that he wanted. But I do feel like he laid enough out to where Rose knew it wasn't okay what she did. But she just felt like, I don't feel like Rose thinks she was wrong, and I don't feel like she thought she owed anybody anything, honestly. But she did say that she did she I not quite an apology, but she did say that, I'm sorry if I blindsided you. I'm sorry if I'm at least embarrassed you. I embarrassed you. That's Hussein's biggest thing. It's not so much that he's in jail. It's the fact that I was blindsided in front of my people. So she understood that, but when she got emotional, I kind of felt like it was not, it made Hussein feel bad. And so he began to kind of pour into her instead of really trying to get more of his point across. So that was it. But her days were numbered after that. Cam takes Sahara out on a date because he needs to feel it out to see if his sisters were right about the situation. All in all, y'all, Cam don't care what they talking about. He like that girl. He understand that Sahara's more of the same, and she is more of the same of what he's used to, but he can't help it. He like it, all right? It's a light in her that he enjoys. Their back and forth banter. Every time I watch Cam and Sahara and Cam and Angie on screen, I feel like I'm watching something that I need to cover my eyes for, because there's always a lot of sexual innuendo going on and faces and flirting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm too young for this. But he likes Sahara. All in all, he enjoys her. And Sahara was like, yeah, make your next move your best move, because I'm really tired of playing with you. And they do end up kissing. So I was like, ooh, Cam, you going to be in trouble? But he likes her. And he decides that even though the girls have said she is more the same, like, I don't know. I feel like she's the person that could be loyal to me. And that's really going to stick with me. And plus, Sahara's not religious, but she is spiritual. And I actually think that fits Cam better than Rose would have. Once the guys meet up again, we do learn about Rose's big reveal, right? All of the fellas learn, and it's like a whoa situation, right? Cisco, because he understands people looking at him with the side eye, he tries to step in and say, listen, we don't really know why she didn't tell. I feel like it's worth a conversation to figure out what's going on with her. Let's not automatically judge her the way that I've been judged. But he didn't say that part. And he wants to really give Rose, he feels like Rose should be given a chance to explain herself. Now, she's already talked to Hussein, so of course that leaves Cam for her really to talk to. We learned that Cam, even though people say that Sahara's more the same, he wants her. And the guys do say, like, the way you talk about her, the way you light up around her, we definitely think she, like, even Jay says, like, wifey material for you. They also say that maybe Cisco brings up that maybe you're bringing in baggage from the past relationships that you've been in with women like her. And it's not fair to put that title on Sahara as well. I do agree with that to an extent. Like, just because I seem like that type of woman, don't put me in the box as this maybe not necessarily working out. While I do understand that, I also do think we have to look at our patterns. And that includes the type of people that we deal with. And if the pattern is wrapped up in some type of toxic behavior you have, or some type of wound that you need to heal, or maybe even a situation that drained you in the past and now you're trying to do it again. Sometimes when we have wounds, we will go back and we will find the exact same thing so that our way of healing the wound is going through the process again and trying to solve it. So let's say you have an abandonment wound from your father, right? And your father left you and your mom. You may constantly go after men who have, what do you call that? Who are stumped emotionally. They're not emotionally intelligent. They're very fleeting. They don't follow through on their promises. But because you want to solve the issue of a man not showing up for you, of a man not sticking around in your life, you want to prove that a man will do that for you. And you want to prove it through a man that doesn't want to do that at all, just like your father didn't want to. Because you have to prove to yourself, I'm worthy. I can be validated. You'll feel validated if you can finally fix it. And You go through that pattern of choosing these men again and again and again until eventually you have to realize, like, these aren't the men I need to choose. This is not a way for me to solve this issue. Does that make sense? Did I say it right? I hope so. Anyway, we do have to look at our patterns, okay? Yes, you can bring in baggage from the past, but we do have to look at our track record, our patterns, and where are they coming from. If it's an unhealthy place, we might need to start addressing it differently. That's all I'm saying. Moving on, I like Sahara, but, if Cam, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I don't need to keep rehashing it. So Cam ends up taking Rose out because they feel like they want to get to the bottom of this situation. So let's see how that goes. Baby, my voice has had it. I am not going to be able to record another review tonight. So I will have to finish the rest tomorrow. But baby, let's get into it. I got to stand up and I got to pour me another glass. Girl, Cam and Rose meet up. Cam brings up how he heard about the situation, about her having the ex that is incarcerated. And we basically feel like you omitted the truth. Like, you didn't tell us what was going on. And she was just like, Cam, I don't even understand why you felt like I needed to tell you that. Like, I think all of this is very funny because where's the loyalty? Like, I have been thorough throughout this whole process. People in the vault have been talking. The girls have said stuff about y'all. And I haven't let that influence my decision about y'all or how I feel about y'all. So why did you let somebody, Hussein is who she's talking about, who I actually had a conversation with about this, and I thought we had reached some middle ground. Now y'all are in the vault talking about me and what I didn't reveal it because I really don't even think, she don't really think it matters. Because we don't have a relationship. We don't talk. He's not in my son's life. And she tells Cam, I think it's funny that you getting on me about omitting things when you do the same thing. And Cam was like, what did I omit? And she was just like, you were sharing a room with Sahara. Why did you omit that? Like, why didn't I know that? Well, you could have known that because y'all was all in the same house. So Cam is stumbling over his words, trying to let her know it's really not the same thing, because if you wanted to know who I was sleeping with, it was right there. Like, it was in your face. You were sitting there playing house with Hussein. And when Cam told her, like, you actually have been one of my top connections, I'm like, Cam, baby, I could have screamed. Because now you playing games with me and you gaslight me in my face. But Rose, let this be a lesson to you. Whether you felt like it was pertinent information or not, whether you felt like you did not omit the truth or not, let this be a lesson. It don't matter how thorough you are in front of these men. It don't matter how much you try to play fair. You talking about you didn't listen to the ladies in the vault. You didn't let that influence your decision. You should have. You should have. You see how quick them tables turned on you? The entire time, instead of playing to what you thought these men would have liked, you should have been laying out your cards from day one. My ex is in jail. I do this. I do that. I don't do this. I don't tolerate that. Do you like me or not? And if you got sent home, you got sent home. There wasn't a man for you. But I promise you, I have laid out plenty of information in front of men. I have told a man that I felt like he lacked confidence. And I don't like men that need a whole lot of ego stroking and validation. So don't come on my phone no more. This man asked me, was I interested in traveling together? They don't care about none of that. Lay your cards out and they can decide if they like them or not. But trying to play fair and trying to play, and I ain't even saying she playing, but trying to be a certain type of woman, and if that's you, that's you. Okay, so let me apologize. If you really like that about yours, let me apologize, right? But if you are putting on in any way to impress these men and to try to play fair with them, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Lay it all out. Play smart. I never, listen, you call me what you want. I'm going to reveal certain things to men, but I'm never going to reveal my whole hand at one time. The ex thing, I would have revealed that. Do what you want with it. I don't care. Do we talk? No. Are we ever going to talk? No. Do you want to know the charges? I'm not talking about that right now. I already told you he was in jail. Whatever, right? Or even if I would have got caught up in it, I would have been like, I don't talk to him. You know, I apologize if you feel some type of way, but that's a part of my past, and I do not talk about it. And I would have stood on it. I wouldn't have got to talking about how good of a woman I was. Baby, I know I'm a good woman. If you're going to send me home, do it. Do it. But don't sit in my face and play with me talking about I was one of your top connections. Cam knew that you was not one of his top connections. Cam was playing the game with you to run the clock out. The clock ran out and you have pretty much tainted yourself in his eyes, you know, with this situation, but you've now made it easy for him to eliminate you. He's now found a reason, just like he found a reason, or almost found a reason with Angie. So yeah, that's what happened. And you see what happens? They will try to play with you. Cam said they're trying to play with her, saying you was my top connection. They will go ahead and toss you to the wind. They don't care how much of a nurturer you said you were, how good you said you would have been. You sat in the vault and went against the girls. You're not even a girl's girl. And went against the girls and said you was different because you take the time to get to know your man. Guess what? They didn't care about none of that. At the end of the day, your ass finna get sent home. And I can say that with my full chest. Play smart. Never, ever play fair. It gets you nowhere. I knew this was going to happen to her. I just didn't know it was going to happen like this. Anyway, y'all. Look how much a fool Angie is. Still there. Look how crazy Sahara has acted. Still there. Kiara talked to Jay with her face in a pillow. Still there. And Deanna with her bad attitude would be there too. She would still be there. If she had somebody that was interested. But she would still be there. Because some of the men still was drawn to her. Play smart. You got to play smart, Rose. That's my best advice to you. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you for the next one. Bye.